And Julie and Marguerite, does the first season span the entire first book, or are we going to get to see parts of other books, or not even the entire first book? What can we expect?
We see parts of several books is really the short answer. I mean, in talking about earlier about how it resonates with today, there's a big political story that happens later in the series, which we've pulled up because that's the now of it. And then there's pieces we kind of picked our way through to say, what can we tell in this season that is coherent and that tees off a lot of stuff for next season. And I like how you always phrase it, which is, if you're a fan of the books and you loved something in those books, trust us, we are fans of the books too, you will see it. It just might not be in the order that you expect it. But all the things that you loved, we loved, like really loved. I think it shows.
No, I mean, for example, in sitting down to do the actual work of adapting a story, and you look at the first episode, and the first thing you decide is you don't want to start where the book starts because you want to tell the story that happened before, and the next thing you realize is that half the book is a party, in which the end result of which is a lust spell that makes a 17-year-old girl almost have sex with her teacher, and we were like, oh, shoot.
I want to rethink that.
What do we do now? So, and that was probably, is 80% of the story of the first book. And so we really did open up the world and pull a lot of, especially the royal intrigue stuff forward, and mixed up the way that we're telling the story while still trying to be as true as possible to the story that exists.
That sounds
Minus
incredible.
the last spell, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Ooh, ouch, again.
Me and Kieran were hurt. We were a little hurt by that one.
You didn't need it.
We didn't need it. Look, man, I'm going to be honest, as a fan of the book, that shit was hot. That was so hot. And so me and Kieran are like, when's the charm coming out? When's the necklace? And I think the way we did it is honestly better, and it's hotter, and you guys are gonna like it better. You're gonna like it more.
Amazing. And now, in a few minutes, we're going to start taking fan questions. So if you have a question for the cast or the creators, start to line up now. But in the meantime, let's get to know everyone a little bit better with some fun superlatives. What was everyone's first impressions of each other?
Heroes, I was a big Vampire Diaries fan. So when I was on the recall, I was like, oh my God, there's Sheriff Fobbs.
You know what?
Oh my God.
When we were doing our first table read, this is literally, dude, I ever tell you
I
this?
know.
Oh, we were sitting across from each other. We were all there. We're just in this little room in the monastery in Spain, all in our, grungy, just reading the thing. And I keep looking up, and I'm like, I'm like, he's looking at me. And I looked at him. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, he's looking at me again, like, what is going on? And then he was like, I'm sorry, but I watched all the Vampire Diaries. And I know, and it's so weird that Sheriff Forbes is sitting here in this table read. So it was adorable.
Fanboy.
Yeah, fan behavior.
All these guys just amazing. I couldn't have imagined sharing the floor with three more special people, especially on my first sort of big opportunity. We all met on Zoom, interestingly enough, when the world was in a very different place. And then we had a couple of days in Madrid. And
yeah, the first time that we ever met each other in real life, like we'd been in the group chat a bit, getting to know each other. And then the first time we ever met, it was just us four in Madrid for a few days. And we went out every night. We forced Andre to drink a little bit too much vodka.
Can we tell the story about Danielle?
Yeah, when I slipped in the street of Madrid, I slipped, fell on my
ass.
Yeah, literally fell on my ass. And that was literally the first time I met them. I was like running up to Cece. I was like, hey. She's like, hey. And then it was like, boom, boom.
There's like 50
I
people there, and the way she
there.
open handled it, it was like, you're cool. Like, she like it was nothing.
I stayed there. They were like, okay, get up. Everyone's staring. And I was like, this is so embarrassing. How am I going to recover? I'm just going to stay here.
And then boys rushed to your aid.
No. I was like, I'm a terrible guardian, because I was like, she's dead, aren't we?
And then Andre rushed to her aid.
I was in shock. I was like,
I feel like I was holding a pizza at the time, like Rose's favorite food, of course. I'm holding a pizza when Lissa falls over. And then I have this pizza, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be your guardian. Like, let me put this pizza down and pick you up from the floor. Like,
Eventful is our first impression, maybe.
Yeah, and then we played cards that night, got someone to come to our room and be like, please keep it down. It's like...
it was my room. I got they all were like, we can be loud, it's fine, it's Spain. And I got a call like,
It's
hey,
Spain.
there are other people sleeping in this hotel, by the way, can you please
need to
keep it
sleep
down?
in Spain too, guys.
And let's do some rapid fire superlatives. Who's most likely to be late to set?
I'd say it's between me and Cece.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of you,
I
Danny.
take the lead though, definitely.
Late to pick up, late to set, right?
Yeah.
Late to pick up, late to set.
Yeah, there we go.
True.
You know, but in my defense, I mean, Lissa has about 1,700 parts to her outfit
Yeah,
and
that's
hair
true.
and
Yeah.
shoes. So, yeah.
And 3 more
Blame it
hours.
on someone
So,
else.
so yeah, pretty much.
And I guess that leads me to my next question. Who is the best dressed?
Dimitri. Absolutely.
I have like 3 outfits.
Yeah, I did have 3 outfits. 3
Lisa
great,
Dragomir.
Solid.
In the show, Lissa Dragon
Yes,
is
has
Yeah.
The Queen's got some great
Oh,
stuff.
Jay,
Sorry.
Jay August has
Jay
some
August.
Looks
outfits.
like a pimp.
Oh, yeah,
He has
Victor
some outfits.
Dashkov.
they're all, there's a lot of good.
Good fashion.
But all of the Maroi, particularly the royals, they get to wear these beautiful, extravagant clothes. Danny's there decked out in like Valentino and stuff.
Yeah, I remember the umbrella I have. Like, it was like made of feathers. It was so beautiful.
It was a museum piece.
Yes, and it was a
They
museum
were
piece.
like,
That's what I was
"By
going to
the
say, from
way,
Paris.
Yeah, from Paris.
And she's like, it's a one of a
Yeah,
kind.
it was borrowed from a museum in Paris, and I didn't know that.
No, not
And
I.
they didn't
one
have
told
it in a
us that.
scene they needed it for, and it was really muddy. And I said, "Where's the umbrella?" And the costume assistant said, "We don't have the umbrella." And I said, "Well, we need the umbrella." And she looked at me, and she's like, "I don't think Sonia wants to shoot with the umbrella right now." And I'm like, "The umbrella's in the other scene, so the umbrella's going to be in this scene." And then we get in a bicycle accident with the umbrella, and the assistant's like, "Please just tell me the umbrella isn't dirty. It can't get dirty." I'm like, really? In my head, I'm like, who gives a about the umbrella? The umbrella survives, thank God, because we then found out that it was a priceless item borrowed
literally
from
one of a kind.
Paris museum that I put into a scene without
You
knowing.
actually have took it on.
I mean, doing like all the fittings with Sonia Grande, I felt like I was in The Devil Wears Prada. She was incredible.
Looked like
her
that.
vision, and she would just be like, "It's not right. Get the Valentino." And I was like, "What's happening? I've never worn Valentino." Like, yeah, it's amazing.